All right, we want to talk about the usefulness of Swiss Army knives, kind of the original multi-tool, I guess. We want to talk about the hacks. We've got different models here. Some of them have scissors, some of them have nail files. This little classic just has a little pen knife and a little screwdriver with the fingernail file, the toothpick and tweezers, a little set of scissors. This is the Rambler that I carry myself. That's got the toothpick and tweezers, scissor, the nail file with the little screwdriver, but it's got also a Phillips with a bottle top opener and a pen knife. I really like carrying this. This one is the, I think they call it the Mechanic. It's basically everything that's on the Tinker, but it also adds a pair of pliers, Phillips screwdriver on the back instead of a corkscrew, which is what I like on the Tinker. This is a bigger Tinker. I have a shorter Tinker too, that just a half-inch shorter or so. This one, I don't know, a camping knife, or I don't know what they call this. Got a one-hand opening with the hole in a liner lock. Got a saw blade, and got the screwdriver bits and the bottle openers. This is a can opener, the standard on the Tinkers, and on this Cadet in the A-locks, the aluminum handles. A lot of fun. Got the standard. All right, a little rainstorm ran us undercover. All the ones that I own, or most of them at least, have a Phillips screwdriver on them, but they don't all have that. And so we want to show you a couple of hacks that we have found over the years. I'm going to close that, and this A-locks aluminum cover is a gorgeous cover on Victorinox. Perhaps the first and the foremost easiest one that I found is that this can opener has a small screwdriver here, but that small screwdriver also fits into a number 2 Phillips head. And I don't know how many times I have used that to remove a screw or tighten a Phillips screw. And sometimes it works better because this one on the side is at 90 degrees, and if you don't have a lot of room to maneuver, this one gives you the straight line application, and that makes a really easy way to deal with number 2 Phillips screw heads. My son has found on his Cadet not only that, but he's found it on his fingernail file that has, I'm sure that's supposed to be a fingernail cleaner, that this ends up being a equivalent of a number 1 and a number 0 Phillips head, so that you can do the tiny Phillips heads with this one, or you can do the number 2 with this one. That's pretty handy. We'll use this one to show you a couple of other hacks. Let me close this. That has a very stiff opening. And one thing that we found, that you can use this as a hook to retrieve things that perhaps has fallen. With this ring here, if you tie a string, let me do a quick bowline here. It's my go-to knot because it's easy to untie and it holds forever. There's my bowline. If you lower this down into a crevice or somewhere, if you had to, you could do here and hope to hook, but if you get it up about here, it's got pretty tight tension on it. You might be able to get that down into something where you can hook something and get it out of a crevice or something like that at a distance. Just a matter of how long a string you put on it. It's not the perfect solution, but the one thing about Swiss Army knives is you get to MacGyver things. You get to make things happen. So associated with that, another thing that my son has found is that in a pinch, you can use this to help loosen or perhaps tighten a hex nut by flattening it against one side and up against your finger, and you get that little bit more leverage of using the flat of the blade, and your finger is helping you hold it in place until you can get it finger loose. And if you can get it down to here and you need to get it just a little tighter, that's going to give you more leverage than just your fingers. There's a final one, and this applies very specifically to the ALOX handle. Would be hard pressed to do it with one of the plastic handles, but pushing a nail back into place, or pushing a nail, not going to be big, it's not going to be a hammer, but if you need to get a nail pushed back into place, of course doing that with your finger is not going to be very successful, but now you've got a flat that you can use to push that nail into place. In a pinch, that's what you've got. You've got a flat, hard surface to be able to push that nail in. I hope you'll subscribe. This is our fun with knives, Dad's Knives.